I told you the story last night about when we did Hard.
Right.
I said, let's do a jam, and you went, oh, I've got an idea, and you rattled off a whole song. Now, I want to know how you do that.
And I count the moments we're apart and add them up mathematically and multiply them by the kisses supposedly I've been missing. Divided by the attention, not to mention the affection. Subtract that from your gross potential and see I ain't missing none. Because any percentage of you is as good as the whole pie. Any fraction thereof bring dividends of interest. Any percentage of you is as good as the whole pie. Any fraction thereof bring dividends of love. I take the square root, I get boxed in every time. When I know the shortest distance between 2 points is on a straight line, I'm going to go into you. No, I'm going to come into you 2 times and carry the fun over to where we equal 1. Because any percent of you is as good as the whole pie. Any fraction thereof bring dividends of love. Every itty bitty kilo, mega, gigabit, and byte of it. In spite of it, you can count on me.
You done it again, you bastard. Okay,
The final verse, goo gobs, much and plenty. Teeny weeny, itty bitty, however many. Any percentage of you is as good as the whole pie.
All right, I'm going to ask you one more question because that was profound, that was beautiful. I'm sort of going to ask you kind of sort of the same question again, which is you do this thing, you put 2 words together from the English language that no one else on the planet put together. How do you do that? Is it on the airplane or what? What are you doing?
Well, you know your boy that I missed last night?
JC.
JC, he's another one that's like
No, he does.
stupid, brilliant. But then it gets in his ways, he do them so fast. Most people don't hear what the hell he's saying. He is one of the most profound, funny, wordplay that you will ever see. Eminem is another one.
Yeah, he's a genius.
Rakim is another one. There's people like Smokey Robinson was my favorite songwriter for years.
Right.
So I got off on being around, Motown lyricists that play on words. Most people have parables, but they have double entendres and sometimes 3. I do stupid stuff. I make words that homonyms. Well, I make them funny, but then I go one step past funny.
An armadillo millimeter long.
Yeah, that's stupid.
But you see again, millimeter armadillo. It's like, hello.
Right. It's just being stupid. Words that have the same meaning, homonyms. Synonyms, homonyms, and all of them.
Tell me about the birth of the Chocolate City album.
Chocolate City album. Oh yeah. That's a long time ago, y'all.
Changed my life.
70 years old, you get cobwebs on your shit. Oh, Chocolate City. Around that time, black was becoming popular. People were talking black and proud, and it was the hip thing that it was becoming hip. Like you said, nappy was cool, because before then it wasn't cool. You know what I'm saying? It was becoming real cool to be into black things at that time. So we said, damn, if that's what's happening now, Chocolate City, the cities were becoming 50, 80% black in Washington, D.C. And so it was, instead of protesting, and we realized that there's a lot of us here. We could use the ballot. We don't need the bullet. We could vote our way into things. And so we said, it's going to be a chocolate city pretty soon. Matter of fact, it was then. Newark was Chocolate City, Atlanta, Georgia, Washington, D.C. So it was something cool to be. So that's when we started thinking of as a positive thing, as opposed to you can't get into this thing because you're black, you can't do that because you're black. All of a sudden, we saw the white kids wanting to be cool too, wanting to dip, and so we had Chocolate City in the vanilla suburbs. You know, so it was, like I said, it was real cool. Because we went on from there to put blacks on the moon and all that shit. You saw us on a spaceship, like a black pimp on a Cadillac, you know, the Mothership album. But Chocolate City, it was very cool, like I said. That whole groove we called funk, and you know, so it became pop. James Brown was tearing up the place. So we look forward to when the day when Obama was there. And it would be one nation under a groove. You know, Chocolate City was the beginning of that. And it worked like hell in Washington, D.C. We were there with, Mothership. I just got off tour, y'all, so you got to, you know, forgive me for that scratchy voice. But it was cool as hell to just be black then. I didn't like it because they had a barber shop, you know, and I used to straighten people's hair to make it look like it was white. So I started losing business. Everybody started wearing afros, but I was glad I was on the road by then, because otherwise I'd have been broke. You know, but you know, it went on to become very cool, and I think it's been that way ever since. You know, because right now hip hop is a thing, and that's like the most unifying music that there has ever been. And that was pure black, because we was the only one that played the dozens. We could talk about each other, you know, and make you feel bad till we got used to it. And once we got used to it, we were able to do it without feeling bad about being talked about. So a lot of words that a lot of people don't even want to hear nowadays, or didn't want to hear then, in hip hop they say, and probably a lot of youth was cringe to hear nigga. You know, but with the hip hop world, it's become one nation under a groove for real. And there's still a debate as to what to do about that. But nevertheless, it's one nation under a groove, and that's the way kids talk. And I'm from real old school that bugged the hell out of a lot of us. But I always like what kids do because they're supposed to bug old folks. And since they get along, I'm following kids. Every time I hear a parent say, I don't like that music, or I hear older musicians say, I don't like that music, I know that's the music I want to get to. So I end up being a old hippie. You know, so Chocolate City is the beginning to me of that attitude. And as we discuss how we want to communicate with each other from now on, it's a good thing to think about. We practice saying, your mama. And once we could take somebody saying your mama, I feel I can take anything after that. You know, once I was able to do that, you can't say nothing to hurt my feelings. You can call me whatever you want, and I'm cool with that. I dictate to me the interpretation of myself. Next. Somebody asked me what is funk. Funk is whatever it needs to be for me to save your life. You know what I'm saying? You do the best you can, then funk it. You know what I'm saying? Because you can, after you've done your best you can, you say funk it. That's all you can do. Because there's always going to be somebody in the corner who gives a funk. They ain't going to put it that simple. You know, but you have to do the best you can. Because if you don't do the best you can, you say fuck it. And you can't do that. you got to at least give it your best. I mean, because that's what the person in the corner gonna say most of the time after you've done the best you can. There's always gonna be one somebody who don't care. Whatever it is, you don't care one way or the other. So to me, funk is whatever it takes for you to keep on going. Once you've done the best you can, you ain't got to worry about committing suicide. You know, you can say, hey, that's the best I can do. Walk to the window, but I ain't jumping. And I'll walk somebody to the window who feel like they can't do nothing about life, but I'm not jumping with them. I'll tell them how I'll go there. I'll do the best I can. I hope you can do the best you can. And after that, you just have fun. So in the studio, we did the best we could, and that was what come out on record. We didn't give a fuck after that whether you liked it or not. We liked it. And there was a whole lot of us waiting their turn to do whatever it was that was being done. Now in the end, I would kind of like carve out what I thought was the best parts along with all the other members of the band. And once we had that feeling that we was the one putting the interpretation on what we was doing, we said, fuck it. This is what's going on. And that's what you got on records. You know, we had, stuff like, shit, goddamn, get off your ass and jam. That would work, within the audience, because we say, you paid to come in here. We getting paid to play. We could, because you see some people coming in and saying, oh, this ain't gonna be there. But damn, if you already made up your mind that it ain't gonna be, good, then that's what you're gonna get. So we had to end up like having a good time ourselves, and we found that when we do that, most people in the place would have a good time too. So in the studio, we started like pretending to be deep. That's all you can do is pretend, because you don't really know what the answer to life is. So it comes out on the record if you're having fun doing it. We made fun of it ourselves. Play loud music, and then somebody on the record say, turn that guitar down. Before somebody else tell you. Because there's always going to be somebody saying, now turn that shit off. And when you look at it from that point of view, you cover everybody. So they don't feel so deep. But thinking they used to say, turn that shit off. I agree with you. And so in the studio, you got all kind of variations of stuff. And then we pick from it, and we always let the kids around us pick from it, because we would never judge ourselves. I mean, we like it, but then as soon as you start liking it too much, you think you got it, the answer. Little 9-year-olds coming in front of their nose like, what's that? And then you feel like, well, damn, maybe I better do some more. So here I am up here, got y'all looking funny at me. Yeah, Slash Stones. Yes, y'all know Slash Stones? Yeah. You do? Oh, okay, good. That's my man. Yeah, we're working together right now. We're doing a new album. It's Slackland and George Stone. And yeah, we're making some nice music, working together in the studio and in the courtrooms. We're fighting against for repossession of our music. And we're doing a Motown album. And it's lots of fun. Say that again. And we also did a thing with the Chili Peppers, Sly, myself, El DeBarge, RZA from Wu-Tang Clan, Kim Burrell. Yeah. System of a Downs, all of us together on one album. If that makes any sense, that sounds pretty confusing, right? We had a hell of a time, though. Muddy Waters, Lightning Hopkins, Elmo James. But then in the 50s, I started listening to doo-wop. That's my favorite. Do, 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 do. Good night, sweetheart. Where to go? That was my favorite music. And then that turned into my girl talking about, Motown. I went to work for them. To me, that was the greatest education of music. That between that, the Beatles, it was like the best education you could have had in music. And of course, Sly was the next one. And we were doing doo-wop Motown music until the 60s. And we realized we were trying to get to the Copa or Las Vegas when the English groups started coming to America with jeans on, with patches on them, And we say, wait a minute, that's the hip music nowadays? We was going the wrong way. We was like tuxedos and, like I said, Las Vegas, and realized that the music that was getting playing hits was going funky. So we had to turn around and say, wait a minute, I know how to do that. I've been poor all my life. I know what's happening there. So we took off our suits and tux and put on sheets and diapers and started doing, I got a thing, you got it. Free your mind, your ass will follow. We started becoming funky, and we caught up with it just in time. Because by the time we would have gotten to, if we ever got there, it would have been too late. So we were able to catch up with where the major planet music was going, which was funky, and we didn't know that. We got there just in time to do all that Mothership connection, make my funk the P-funk. I want my funk uncut, I want the ball, and knee deep and all that. And then hip-hoppers started sampling that. And we realized, wow, they just want a little piece of this. You put a one on it, they got brand new music. So we started sampling ourselves. And look like we got fresh delic now. So again, I'm glad to be here. I love this. They kept our ass alive. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people didn't think it was cool, but I realized, I know kids hate their brothers and sisters' music. They hate their parents' music. And if they like anything about ours, I know how to get some more from there. So we started making it available. We started taking the tracks apart. Here's the drums, here's the bass, here's the horns by themselves. We made an album called Sample Some of Disc and Sample Some of That. And sample, copy, dupe it, and loop it to stupid. I loved it. It kept us alive. And like I say, whenever I hear somebody say, that ain't music, or I hate that, I'm turning around right there, and that's where I'm going. Because that's the new music. Kids love to do what you hate. And I agree with them. It be time to change. Because I don't give a fuck. I mean, it's like I say, we just do what it is that comes, it's like jamming. And that basically is for everybody got some fun. When you get home in your neighborhood by yourself, and you ain't paying no attention, or when you're in the bathroom, and humming to yourself, everybody sound good. It's just when you get out of there in the studio, you try to clean it up, and try to be, that's where you go wrong at. It's when you just ain't thinking about it, and you just turn loose and let go, give it to somebody, they put a beat up under it, You know, a lot of music comes out now, people can just be talking. Somebody take it home with them, make a loop and put it up on there, and you got new music. Then you find bands that can go back like Rage Against the Machine. They'll do that, they'll come back and learn how to play with their samples. And that's real deep. You know, they incorporate everything. Sample it, put it together, then go back as a band and rehearse it. It's a whole nother thing to do once you've done it, mechanically, technology and everything. Then go back and learn it from a human standpoint. It takes a lot of discipline to do that. You know, so you got all kind of new ideas. Techno is coming in, that's funky. To think you can get away with that is pretty funky. I mean, it's so deep now you find 3 or 4 turntables with making a band out of it. That's fresh funk for me. And we just like to do whatever we do, however we can get it done. You know, I like to hear what I'm saying up here tomorrow and put some beats behind it because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But I know it feels all right when I look at your face. You know, something making some kind of sense, even though it don't make sense to me at all. Anything. I mean, sometimes when I have a line that has become a hook. Sometimes it's most of the time nowadays it's a groove, a beat or something. But I can start pretty much from almost anywhere. You know, what somebody say, something commercial I hear. I used to read commercials. Like we did an album called Motor Booty Affair. And I was on tour, and it was all about fishing. So everything I did on the album was about Mr. Wiggle the Worm, Aqua Boogie Baby. You know, it was all about, Psycho Alpha Disco Beta Bio Aqua Dulu. That's the art of dancing underwater and not getting wet. That's the rhythm it takes to move between molecules, and you make something out of it later on One Nation. Here's your chance to dance your way out of your constriction. Gonna be grooving up and down Hang-Up's alleyway. With the groove I only got, we shall all be moved. Ready or not, here I come. Getting down on the One Nation under a groove. It's just, sometimes, like I said, it can be total nonsense. But as you think about it, all of this is nonsense. But when we communicate, we think we know we talk about it, pretty soon it works. So to me, ain't nothing ever wrong. So no matter which way you do it, if we smiling, we all right. Oh yeah, I'm liking this in myself. Somebody please write this down. Oh good. I want copies of this because I'm going to use it. Next. Oh, the first time, we had this thing called the Mothership. A $500,000 spaceship that used to land on the stage. You know what I'm saying? And I paid for it, so I know it's supposed to work. You know what I'm saying? And the first time it landed, and I came out, smoke shooting in front of my face, 25 feet up, and I'm looking at the audience, and they all looking up like, some of them looked like they was getting ready to pray. Some of them looked like, and my first thought was, it's shaky. It ain't but 2 by 2, so it's shaky. It's a long ways down. I got 9-inch boots on. I'm high as hell. And I'm thinking, now I can believe this shit that I'm God up here if I wanted. I already know my excuse for falling. So I better be very careful. I'm thinking about this and I'm laughing to myself. So I did walk down the steps real slowly in my coat. You know, as I came up, it's the elevator. My coat get caught in the elevator, so now I'm stepping off and I'm cool as hell with this, but I can't go nowhere. So I'm thinking to myself, now how the hell you get out of here? So immediately I just sit down and feel like, damn, I'm exhausted. Come out of the coat left the coat up there, came on downstairs, and walked to the microphone and said, it ain't nothing but a party, y'all. I paid for this. It's supposed to work. You know, I ain't him. You know, I ain't no God. Let's have a ball. And the place laughed like hell. And from then on, it went on. I never forgot that. You know, that was all kind of reality in about 2 minutes. From then on, I could shake and do whatever I wanted. And eventually somebody ran up the steps one night. And I didn't even see him because the smoke was in front of my face. I just felt it hitting my feet. And I just moved to the side. And they fell off. When I got to the floor, they were bleeding and everything. And they was carrying them out. I don't know what had happened. The show was over. They were walking outside. They had threw him out. He was under the fire escape. I bet I'm the only one rode on the Mothership besides Dr. Funkenstein. And that was funny as hell, you know. But it was from that first day of thinking I'm gonna fall that I was able to come down there real cool after feeling somebody hitting me on the feet. Either there's a very tall somebody up here or somebody's up here with me. And I just held to the thing. And like I said, it was cool from then on. Well, a lot of them leave, but we there so they come back. It's easy, you know, it's easy to want to do your own thing, go somewhere, but and that's understandable. When they leave and find that ain't no place like home, and it's cool to, you know, because there's always too many to pay anyway. So when they take a leave of absence, I'll be glad for a minute. You know, but it's always good to have them come back, you know, and be part of the thing, you know, and they do that. It's home, protection, and there's nothing like it. As far as I'm concerned, there is nothing like P-Funk, you know, the Mothership, nothing. Well, that was 70, and Bootsy had been with James Brown. Yeah. But at that time, all young musicians wanted to be Funkadelic, you know, because most of the things was tight. You know, James, the band that you rehearsed, and everything he was doing, and that's, to me, I idolized that ability to make anything as tight as his band was. And that's the total opposite end of how we worked. But Bootsy came with us, you know, with that, you know, with understanding that. So our thing was, he was too dynamic to be part of our group. He had to have his own band. So I made a deal with him. I'll help your band become a band of its own. You know, you help me with the Parliament side of our band. Because our band was Parliament and Funkadelic. Funkadelic was a rock and roll psychedelic band. Parliament was tight harmonies, you know, music, very tight. And Bernie was a graduate of Berkeley, so we had that side of it. We took what Bootsy brought rhythmically, and he also brought Fred Wesley and Maceo Parker with him. So we had the JBs and Bootsy. You know, so we did Bootsy Rubber Band on one side of it. Then we did Parliament, you know, on the other side of it. So that was our deal. It gave us a chance to have the horns, which we had never had, and rhythms of James Brown. And so that's a whole fresh thing when you mix it with Motown and decided me where I was a writer. So we had brand new songs for Parliament. And Bootsy, I wrote songs for him, which I used the silly, serious love songs of the 50s that I grew up with, the doo-wops. So when you got Munches for Your Love, Telephone Bill, that's the stuff that I did as a Parliament doo-wops in the 50s. But we put a Jimi Hendrix voice on it, because he sounded like that. Oh, baby, you know, Munches for Your Love, you know, but so it became silly, serious love songs, and that worked for him, you know. And like I said, then we took Fred and him, who was James's horn section, made them the horny horns. We felt that everybody in the band wanted to be a star, so if you could look forward to becoming your own star, everybody was happy. So the background girls became Parlette, Brides of Funkenstein, you know. Then the guitar players were Eddie Hazel, which is next to Jimi Hendrix, probably one of the greatest funk guitar players there ever was, you know. And Bertie Worrell, which is no comparison, period, you know. And each one of them had their own album to look forward to. And so that helped keep the whole band together, because everybody knew we recorded The Lawyers. The Roadies had an album done, you know, because everybody around the stage was a frustrated musician, you know. So when you have a chance to look forward to yourself being, it was easier for you to go, come. To this day, people that's been gone 10, 15 years will come back and say, man, let me know when there's an opening. And we found that with characters like Dr. Funkenstein and Star Child, it's like being a cartoon. Like Mickey Mouse don't get old. You know, neither does a Dr. Funkenstein or Star Child. When you look at it as a character, or as opposed to somebody up there who's trying to look cute for the girls or the guys, you would get old real quick. But if you're a character, the Star Child, you can be a 60-year-old man with a diaper on. You know, and you don't have to worry about being compared to the next new young cat that come along. We've seen them come be stars in other situations and finally quit and come back to us and say, damn, y'all still doing this? And we're still doing it and having fun doing it. There's no thing about age. I'll be 70 in a couple of months.
Really?
And I forget that. I feel it when I come up them stairs. But when I get ready to go on stage, I forget all about it. I'm really glad to be here, though.